Okay, you're going to make sure you have out your Unit 1 review, and we will be doing problem number 5 together. Circle problem number 5. This is a word problem. So we're going to follow our steps to problem solving. The first one is we have to read to understand. Follow along as I read. See girls pointing on their page, so I know they're following along, giving their best listening. Mary swam 24 laps on Monday, 41 on Wednesday, and 37 on Friday. She did not touch the edge on 27 of her laps, so they didn't count. She needs at least 100 laps to qualify for the team. Then the question says, without solving, do you think she swam enough laps? Let's underline that. Without solving, do you think she swam enough laps? So since it says without solving, it means it doesn't want an exact answer. If we're not giving an exact answer, we're just giving a close to. What's our mathematical word for that? You can call it estimate. Exactly. So this is telling us that we want to estimate. Go ahead and write that above the words without solving. And in fact, the next question says, how do you know? Explain your estimation strategy. So we're going to show our work right here. Let's look ahead. Then it's going to ask us find the exact number of laps Mary swam, and then look back at your estimate. Does your answer make sense? Why or why not? Now, you know me. I actually like to start with the exact answer, and then I like to go back and make my estimate later. So I want you to put a little check next to this first part, find the exact, because we're actually going to do that first. I know you don't have a ton of space on your paper, but you can make some space off to the side, like just over to the left here, or if you have some space down below, you could do that too. Or I'm trying to think, is it blank on the back? No, we have problems there. Just find a little enough space to do the problem on here. So we're going to find exact first. So we've read the problem. We need a plan to figure out how many laps Mary swam. Looking back at the word problem, what would your plan be? What are we going to need to do? Reading the problem, what would we need to do to find out how many laps she actually did swam? The exact number. Plan. Excellent. Quinn says we're adding all the numbers together and then subtracting 27. Why subtract the 27? Yes, good. So we know we'll take that away later. So let's do what you said first. First, we're going to add all the ones that she did. 24, 41, and 37 laps. Let's add those all together because those she did swim initially. So 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 7 is 12. Put down my 2, regroup my 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus, I might do 3 plus 6. Yeah, 3 plus 3. That's what I was thinking, CS. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10. So we got 102 cookies? Laps. Thank you, Lauren. Those are our units. Always remember our units. But then Quinn said we're not done yet because she had 27 that didn't count. So now step 2, we're going to take away that 27. And you know how to do that. Which place value do we start in? The ones. 2 minus 7, can we do it? Nope. So more on the floor, go next door. Uh-oh, he's got nothing to give us. So we go next door again. This 1 becomes a 0. This 0 becomes a 10 just for a second. Then it becomes a 9. 2 becomes a 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. And 0 minus 0 is 0. So So after we took away the 27, she only did 75 cupcakes? Laps, thank you. I clearly have food on the brain this morning, but our units are laps. So the exact answer is 75 laps. I'm going to take questions later. Let's go through all the parts first. So again, I like doing the exact answer first. I knew I was going to have to do it, so I went ahead and did that first. But we still have to answer all parts of the question. So it asked us before to do it without solving and do an estimation, use estimation. So let's go back up here and show the work we'd use for estimation. So if we were doing Quinn's plan, adding the one she swam and then taking away, but we wanted to use easy numbers to do in our head, let's say we're trying to figure out if she did enough, right? So if we rounded all of these numbers down and then added, right? If she was over in that, we would for sure know that she did enough, right? So we could just round all these numbers down and see if we find out that way if she did enough. Oh, just rounded in the nearest 10? Okay, so you want to do estimation with rounding. Okay, so let's do estimation with rounding. We could also round all of them up, and if she was still under her goal, even if we rounded them up, we'd know she didn't meet them. So there's not just one right answer. That's what you have to decide which one you want to do and then explain it. Let's go ahead and use Emily's estimation with rounding. So we're going to use them to the nearest 10. So 24 we'd round to 20, plus 41 we'd round to 40, and 37 we'd round to 40. So we ended up rounding two down and only one up, okay? And we can add those really easily in our head, right? And right away we have 100, okay? But then we know she didn't hit on 27 of her laps. Instead of calling it 27, I want to use a number that's easy to work with. So maybe I'll do 100 minus 25, a close to number that's easy to work with, because I can do that in my head. I know this is like 100 cents minus a quarter, 75, right? I know 100 minus 25 is just 75. Wow, that's cool. My estimate was the same as my actual answer. That doesn't always happen. You could have rounded this 27 to 30, right? Would that be fine? Yeah, it's a close to number. So I'm going to show all my work for my estimation strategy. And then I'm going to say, do we think she swam enough laps? What was her goal? She wanted to swim 100. How many did we think she swam about? 75. So did she swim enough to meet her goal? No, she's short of 100. And maybe we could say something like, when it said, how do you know? I rounded the number, I'm going to use a pound sign for number, the number of laps, and found she was below her goal. So notice in my explanation, I made sure to show all my work carefully. If you didn't show this work and you just said this sentence, I rounded the number of laps and found she was below her goal, is that enough to convince me? No. If you were the teacher, would you give just that sentence full credit? No. But once you show all your work too, then we know. And the last step is look back at your estimation. Does your answer make sense? Why or why not? So what would we say? Do we think our answer 75 laps makes sense? Yes. Normally we say because our answer is close to our estimate. This time you could say because my answer was the exact same as my estimate, right? So yes, because my answer, usually we say is close to, today we could say is the same as my estimate. So when you get to multi-step word problems, you want to really take your time and make sure you're clearly explaining your thinking.